people who deceive me. Muddy ends break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next? He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession, all in his possession. You got their attention, I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds, they can stay soft. You can change lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life, better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss, just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me.
Yeah.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. Your check is I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place. I wanna be first, work till it hurts. Dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off, I'ma break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me.
Hello, 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 hello. Big Cheese, I see you bopping to the to the music.
It was motivating, like, you know.
Right? It was like he kind of sounded like NF, right? He kind of sounded like a little like NF. I'm like, okay, I feel you. So hello everybody. Welcome to our mental health awareness chat of 2024. I'm really super excited. I'm going to introduce our guest today. And guest, we're going to put you big on the screen so that way you can, say who you are and what you do. But today we have Keandra Jackson, we have SupremeSensai, and we have BigCheese. Keandra, I'll let you go ahead and take it away. Who are you and what do you do?
Hello, everybody. I'm super excited to be here. I am a licensed therapist, award-winning speaker, best-selling author, and TV and media personality. I am excited about all things mental. I am excited about all things mental health and healthy relationships across the board. So I am super excited to be with you guys tonight.
Thank you so much. And next we have SupremeSensai. Who is you, boo, and what do you do? Oh, you're muted.
What? I'm sorry, I couldn't. What?
Can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can see you, but we can't hear you.
How about now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm like, maybe I'll just wait. Maybe just a little buffer. Okay. We'll try that again. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, SupremeSensai. I am a variety streamer on Twitch. I also work for community media. A lot of you may have seen me from Big Creator, which is a collective that I started for small content creators. And I'm also an esports host. So you see me on Twitch, front page Twitch, a lot.
Whoop whoop. And BigCheese. Who is you and what do you do?
Well, hello.
Oh my gosh.
Hello, you beautiful people. My name is BigCheese. I am a entertainer, performer, musician, voice actor, commentator, streamer, content creator, part-time dancer, and I do hair.
And you do hair. Look at that.
Are you checking your notes to see what you do?
Oh, I only got my water. I ain't got no notes. This is all me. You already know, freestyle all day, every day. But no, I'm just wonder ball of entertainment, and I'm very happy to be here in regards to mental health awareness because when I tell you it's an adventure, it's an adventure.
It really truly is. It really truly is. I am really, really excited to have all of you guys here with it's okay. Life happens,
It's stormy. I'm like, it sounds like
a flood.
Yeah, like I was like, should I be concerned? Okay.
Hurricane season ain't ready yet, but the storms are acting a little early. They're acting a little early.
That's why y'all need to move to Cali. We ain't got those problems over here, okay?
But y'all a little shaky over there,
Yeah. When y'all have a hurricane came over, like most of California went on fire. I was like, whoa. Okay,
yeah, I'm okay. I'll take water. Yeah, I'll take the water.
They now build houses with like the shutters in Florida, and they build them on a slope so the flooding goes into the into the street and drainage and stuff like that. I'm not prepared for fire. Okay.
You know what's
the
crazy?
Ground moves over here. Yeah, the ground does move over here. That's true.
That's kind of crazy that California has earth and fire, and we got wind and water. And the humans have the heart. Just
that is look at the 4 tribes.
You ate that,
right?
Whole Captain Planet happening in America right now. It's kind of crazy.
Right? We have the 4 tribes coming together. I wonder who will be the avatar to master all of the elements. That it's an election year, so God be with us. All right, so I'm really excited to dive into these, and I'm really happy that you guys, are able to be a part of the conversation. Mental health is something that is very, very important to me, and something I've talked about for a while. And this would be the maybe 4th or 5th mental health awareness chat that I've had on the channel, including creators and a licensed therapist. So I think this conversation will give a lot of people things that they can take away, even if it's relatability of that intersection of content creation and, mental health, because we used to say people don't talk about it. Some people do, but still there are a lot of people who don't talk about it still. And so I think sharing your stories and your journeys will be very helpful. And then we have Keandra here that can help with like a lot of the things. Okay. A lot of the things. I do want to give Keandra some flowers though, really quick, because I met her last year at VidCon at a dinner. And then we followed each other on social media. And a little high in there, high and by a little, like, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Just a little bit. But then I had mentioned how I wanted to go back to therapy last year. And she was like, hey, I can give you some resources. And she sent me an email with like a bunch of resources. And I ended up finding my therapist who essentially saved my life like last year. So through that means. So if anybody is out there that's like, hey, I'm floundering or I'm panicking or I'm desperate, I need help, you can put that out there like, hey, I need help, and you'll find people that are willing to provide those resources to help you. So
I didn't know I would need my tissue. Hold
on. Lord.
Thank you so much. So starting off, I want each of you guys to say, like, what is one phrase or word that you would use to describe mental health? Keandra, we'll start with you.
Okay. I would probably say put your own mask on first. And I know we all have probably been on a flight or a plane where, the instructions are, if something goes wrong on this flight and those masks pop down, make sure you put your own mask on first and then try to help other people. And I try to use that philosophy, those instructions in my own life, and I encourage other people to use that as well, because you really can't help other people if you're not good. If you're not breathing, putting your mask on, how are you going to help your kid, your spouse, or any other stranger that's on that flight? And the same goes for real life. You have to make sure that your cup is full. You have to make sure you have boundaries. You have to make sure you're taking care of yourself on every level possible, spiritually, emotionally, physically, all of financially, all of the things. in order to be able to help other people. So that's the phrase. Put your own mask on first before you try to help other people.
Amen.
Dang,
Amen.
You just read me for filth. That's crazy. I'm over here like, put my own mask on. Me over here putting everybody else's mask on.
Which is kind of fitting since you go by the moniker mother, and a lot of moms do that. They like put on the masks for everybody else and make sure the house is set or friends or family are set, and they put themselves last when it should be the other way around.
Yeah.
Supreme, what about you?
Simply, I think the first thing that comes to mind is like a state of mind. I think often people have a negative connotation when they hear mental health, like immediately, but it could be good or bad. Like mental health is it literally is your state of mind. So I try to like there's some good times. It's good to talk about, the good mental health that people have. And, people don't do that, as often as they talk about the bad. So, yeah.
Okay. And BigCheese, what about you?
It's okay to be selfish. Like I am a very selfless person. And like you said, that's why I put my cup up when she said, stop pouring other people's cup. I'm empty. I need some more water. I need something over here.
Fill that cup. Fill that cup.
Mouth all ashy and dry. But honestly, it's okay to be selfish because we spend majority of our time in our lives helping others. When are you going to find the time to help yourself? When are you going to better yourself? Because we always coaching others in life. When you go through your childhood and your teenage years, there are people that's coaching you, but you don't even know that they need help too. But they're trying to make sure that you don't go down the path that they're going. And I learned that with like with my uncles and my mom and stuff like that. So it was like, okay, I have to be more selfish and help myself a lot more than I help others. It's never too late to do that.
Snaps. Okay.
Well, I told you.
So one thing that Keandra said that is something that I go by. There's a lady on Instagram that I like somewhat idolize, and her name is Operation_Nikki, and she cleans her house, right? She's this Black woman that cleans her house, and that content is just soothing. But one of the phrases that she says a lot is that her definition of self-care is filling up the cup at which you pour from. And that would be like by any means doing the things for you that you are refilling your cup before you pour it out to, other people. So that's definitely a takeaway that I have. That I definitely agree with everything that you guys are saying. And I do agree. I feel like one of the things Supreme said that a lot of times when people do share mental health, they may be willing. They're normally on one side. Either they're only sharing the bad and no good, or they're only sharing the good and kind of dismissing the bad. Right. There should be more of a balance because you have your ups and your downs, right? Yes. And more people should, come to the table with both sides of how they feel. And then, BigCheese with being selfish as a mom in a West Indian family. Okay. My family's Jamaican. Okay. That whole thing of learning to be selfish is a difficult, I am just learning. I'm 30. I just turned 36 years old. Okay. Last week. So it's that aspect of, yes. I need
Please
to do
tell me
better.
I'm not the oldest here. Please tell me I'm not the oldest.
No, we're not going to do that. We don't need to do that because Supreme is definitely the baby. And I don't want my feelings hurt.
Child.
Like a baby.
Right. She's definitely the baby. I don't want my feelings hurt. Let's not even go down there. Okay. Forget I even mentioned the age.
She's looking real 12ish. She was just 12.
I'm looking like very much a child.
The baby here, and I don't want my feelings to get hurt, okay? Because the way my daughter, who's 5, said, "Mommy, you're old," and I just really, really don't want to feel more pain about that, okay? All right, so my next question, and mind you, if you're somebody watching in the chat and you have a question and you want to super chat it, or we can ask, we will have a Q&A section at the later end of the panel. So think about the things that you want to ask, and we will answer to the best of our ability. But we also have Keandra, who is a licensed therapist who can answer things in a better way than we can. Okay. How has creating content affected your mental health? Now, Keandra, I'm really interested to hear your aspect, because you sit in, like, you went to school, you are a licensed therapist, you saw patients or see patients now. I'm not sure if you are still active with that, but you are also, you are an influencer, but you have courses, you do, you were on like true crime specials, like you were doing the entertainment side of it as well. So how does knowing, feeling, and sharing all work together?
Woo! The knowing, feeling, and sharing. Oh, goodness gracious. So it's almost like I get both sides of the coin, right? So I'm a therapist. I know all of the psychological things that you're supposed to be doing and not doing, and how people be fronting on social media and not being honest and just sharing the perfect. And, I walked into the sunset and, we held hands forever and, we locked eyes across it's like, really, that's not the truth. So I think we see so many people who share just the positive things and the highlights, just as everyone was mentioning, but they don't say the real, and I think that's what attracted me to you, Christine. Like, I think I came into your life or seeing something where you were talking about some type of like physical issues or medical issues you were having. I'm like, oh, she's keeping it real. I like her even more now, and I'm a realist too. So I tend to gravitate to people who are real. But on the flip side, just being a creator and seeing how I have to utilize the same tips, tricks, resources that I'm giving y'all, I have to utilize that in my own personal life too. And it was just this past week where I was like, yo, this creator world is crazy. I had a video perform pretty well on my YouTube channel for the first time. And I didn't know that the YouTubers were savages. The comments were wild, and that's all of them.
Yeah, I think each platform competes on who can be the worst.
Every last one of them.
It's insane. I thought TikTok, the other, can we say that on here? I thought the other platform.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
I thought TikTok was a beast, but the people on YouTube are savages and they're just disrespectful. And I had to block and delete a lot of people and ban people from my channel. And that was a way for me to protect my peace and also protect the community of people that I'm building, because I want them to come to my channel and be safe and not feel like they're going to get attacked. And so I had to do what I needed to do for me, but also for my peeps too. And so it's a weird space, especially because I'm in the entertainment industry as well. And I do a lot of, reality TV shows, commercials, documentaries. That industry is wild, so
Hollywood is a whole other beast.
It's a whole different beast outside of being a content, creator. And we're seeing a glimpse of that now, with all of the stuff that's trending that we're not going to name, as of the last 24 to 48 hours. And so it's a journey. It's something that I'm constantly learning every single day, but also I'm a person of faith too. So that's really important to me in how I navigate my space and try to just show up as showing people grace and love as much as possible. But I will block you and delete you.
You have to. No, but I think that's something you're touching on that I feel is a huge lack in this whole social media, quickly accessible world that we live in. Grace and compassion for people. I feel like something that I've seen is like when you see like drama blow up on the timelines, right? And all these people throwing all the thoughts and the insights. And I'm like, if we were working at a job, A, you wouldn't say some of these things. And B, you would find a way to deal with people who thought differently than you. Whereas on social media, it's so much of this is what I think, I'm right, you're wrong, this is what it is, instead of this melding of minds and an understanding of you may think differently, right? And it's not a welcoming to, hey, disrespect me, no, but you can respectfully think what you think, and I respectfully think what I think, and that is very lost on social media. I think more people need to give love and grace when it comes to dealing with people in general.
What is love and grace? I want war.
That's what it seems like. They want, in the comment section, they definitely want more, or they want more war. Yes, that's what they want. Definitely more. Supreme, what about you? What is Like, how has creating content affected your mental health?
I think obviously when we speak about content, we're speaking about social media. Social media can be it's not real. It's like, I can't even explain it. Social media is not real. And so some of the things that we're exposed to, like, we should absolutely not be exposed to. But I can't not be on social media because it's a part of my job. So it's like every morning I wake up and just be like, if I could like not use social media, I would probably be so much more happier. I think about that all the time. And it's like, how do I choose, my peace? And it's just like, it's one of those, I'm like, I'm choosing my battle. It just feels like I'm choosing my battle. I try to stay, like, they have For You tabs. I try to stay in the following tabs because obviously I'm following people who aren't, exposing me to things like that. But it still finds a way, it still finds a way. And that affects me because if I'm scrolling and I see something that bothered me, now I'm over it. I don't even want to get up and do the content anymore. So then I set myself back. So it's like, it's an ongoing battle, but vice versa. On the flip side, the good stuff is like, I see people like BigCheese and Christine on my timeline doing like good things, right? And it's like, dang, it like inspires you, like, bro, let me get up, So I'm like tug of war. Some days I'm like, ew, I don't even want to be on this app. And some days I'm like, I'm in my bed eating my popcorn, I'm watching BigCheese, and I'm like, I should really get up. Like, I should get up. So it's like, it's encouragement, but there's also the negative side. It's a battle for sure. Yeah.
Girl, snaps, because I relate. Okay. Sometimes looking at that ill, like that's how I feel sometimes when I go to like Twitter. When I see there's a lot of angry people, I'm like, ew, let me leave.
Ew. What are y'all mad about? Like, okay, so what I started this recently once the Kendrick Lamar and Drake stuff started happening, right? I put a tweet out, was like, all right, put your votes in. What do y'all think Twitter is going to be outraged this month? Like, what are we going to be outraged? There's something we're outraged. I'm like, we're always arguing. We're always so upset,
angry,
and having these points like they are psychologists, like they are people who went to school for. They got degrees in this. I'm like, first of all, you work like at a marketing company, and you're talking about somebody's like physical health. I'm like, you like, I don't understand how you even have this strong standpoint. Like, it's an opinion, you know that, right? Like, what you're saying is not fact. It's an opinion.
That's another thing that's lacking, knowing the difference between opinion.
They don't know.
I had to define something because somebody said something. I can't remember what it was. This was like last year. And I was like, that's not the definition of that word, right? You can't just make it mean that just because that's how you feel. That's not how that works. Okay. And I think I tagged the definition so that to help them, to guide them, because clearly some understanding was needed. Some understanding was definitely needed. Okay. As John Franklin says, I'm sick of arguing with folks. We have to be angry about everything.
Everything.
Right. I got a 5-year-old. The mood is a flip of the coin. All right. I don't want to go to my phone and deal with that. It's only so much somebody could take. Okay.
What am I gonna do today?
Right. It's like, do I want to be moody? Do I want to be chill? Do I want to be lovable and bubbly? Or do I want to do all of them? Okay. Sometimes she's the avatar. Master all the elements at one time. Okay. All right. That's what she be. Okay. BigCheese, what about you? For you, how does creating content affected your mental health?
Dual-edged sword.
Exhale.
Yeah. It's a dual-edged sword. You have one side where everything is glorious and wonderful and things are going your way, and there's no hatred, there's no everything. Like, it's just like peanut butter jelly. So jelly is the good side, the joyful side. And then the peanut butter is more like you get in these sticky situations you don't want to get into, and then you get like, you don't get yourself involved in it. People pull you into it, and you gotta plead your case, and you'd be like, oh, you want to plead your case? You're lying. So it's like, how did I get into this? So it's like one minute you're doing your thing, you're creating content, and reminder, I've been creating content since 2006. So I was there before, I think, Supreme was even born. I'm not even sure when you was born. I'm not
I'm not trying to get my feelings hurt, okay? Let's not
okay. No, I'm messing with you, but no, like I've been creating content for a very long time, and it was a point where like I was creating content with no problems, and then all of a sudden everything just kicked in because of the fact that I got like a slight bit of success after of a very viral video or whatnot. And it's like, where did y'all come from, bro? Like, what's this mentality that you have that you attack people that's doing good and doing good as far as like trying to make it a career? And it comes to the point where they can dox you, darn near swat you, and put your information all in the universe.
That was a crazy moment in time with content creation.
Yeah.
It was just so wild the amount of times people were getting swatted. It was just so wild. And
you gotta think about it. I'm a black man in America, so if you trying to swat me, they're not worried about what's going on, or what's called a welfare check. Yeah, they ain't doing all that stuff. They just like, shoot first, ask questions later. So like I was thankful for the people that helped me out with that situation at hand, but it's just like it put me in a mental state where I don't want to create content no more. Well, I don't want to stream no more. Hell, I don't even want to make music no more. And that's like the main thing. I started was like doing music and dancing and stuff like that. Yes, that's right, Supreme. I can dance too. Yeah. But no, but like in all seriousness, it's like you want to do things that make people happy. You want to do things that entertain people and make people laugh. And then there's somebody that's like a party pooper that just come and be like, you're trash. Like, who are you? Are you okay?
Right.
Like tell me what's going on with you. Let's talk about this like grown-ups, but we don't have that no more. We don't have it where people can talk it out or, squash the beef or communicate with each other. It's like, oh no, I want problems with you because you are actually competition to me. It's like, I'm not competition with you. I'm in competition with myself every day.
Is too grand for all of us creators to be competing against each other. Like there could be so many people that have millions of subscribers and still people don't know them. There's so much opportunity in this sea.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That's how I felt about Markiplier. I finally figured out who he was when he raided my channel. So I get that, but I talked to him and told him thank you and stuff like that. But people was mad that happened for me. It's like, you should be joyful. It's like, I don't know. I'm gonna say this about the internet. The internet gave the opportunity of these powerless people to have power. And they have too much power. And it's like they're gonna sit there in their basement eating the plain Lay's potato chips, drinking Slim Fast, mixed with some sugar anyway. And it's just like, bro.
Why'd you come from the plain Lay's? I like plain Lay's every now and again.
That explains the color of your hat. I get it though. You feel me? That's all good. But see, you see how I can be able to joke with Christine and like that be that. Nobody can't just do that anymore. We can't laugh anymore. We can't enjoy each other's company anymore. It's like everything is a competition. But if you realize this whole industry is a big buffet. Choose what you want to eat. But if you try to eat off my plate, we won't have problems.
And that's the thing. You bring up a big point that I do feel like one of the things, because I've had many jobs in my life, in being older than Supreme, I have, like you the baby. And when I see, but I'm sure you're taller than me too. When I see you, I'll be like, look, the baby, right? But now I've had a lot of jobs, and no matter what industry you work, because I've worked in retail and customer service, a call center, restaurant, no matter where you work, the same type of people exist. You have the people that don't work as hard, but are mad that you are getting better opportunities. You have the people that work really hard and get the opportunities, or you have the people that are missed over, or the people that, any pool that you go to, you're going to find these same groups of people. And one of the things that I found is that a lot of people don't realize how much work you have to put in to do this. They think, oh, you just turn on a phone, record some dance moves, and then you're it. And that's not the case. And there's so many people that when they see other people getting opportunities or getting brand deals or doing big things, I feel like for some people, they don't have the patience with their own journey and they project those insecurities on other creators. I've seen people or heard people say, oh, how does Christine get that? Why did Christine get that? Not realizing like I've been doing this for next year will be 10 years that I've been doing this, how hard I've worked, or me and my husband working till we were sick Not saying you should do that. That's not healthy. Don't do that. Okay. But like working super hard, having so many rejections to doing things, to like confining to, or deciding, you know what, hey, you know what, F all you guys, I'm just going to do it myself and just do it. And I think people like something Keandra said, like what's presented on social media is not the true, not the whole picture. You're only getting a piece. It may not be a true piece, but you're only getting a piece, and you're not realizing the journey that somebody had to take to get to where they are.
Facts. Big facts. Yeah.
That makes me wonder, though, if creators should be more open about their journey, because sometimes there are people who do get overnight success, right? It's like they just come out of nowhere and they have a viral video or whatever, and things take off. But then you have people like BigCheese who've been in the game for 20 years, you know what I mean? And they don't know the background story. And I know haters are going to be haters, but sometimes, sorry.
But you did that. That's to say it. Own that proudly, okay? Own it proudly.
I'm gonna hold it very proudly.
It sounds more crazy when you say like the years I'm in. Like just say 2006 and I'll sound too bad.
It's been almost 18 years for you.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you close.
But I can definitely say I am proud of my journey. And I'm proud to say that I am old, because that's another thing with dual-edged sword, that people was talking to me crazy, like, you're not gonna make it when you're to 18, you're not gonna make it to 25, you're either gonna be dead or in jail. And it's like, here I am at 38, still doing this, still creating content, still being able to entertain people where I'm at today. You can't tell me nothing different anymore. Like I've succeeded where you thought I failed.
That's good.
Yeah, write it down, and I want 2%.
Oh God.
But no, I do agree with you, Kendra. I do feel like more people like should be, and you know what? What's funny? We are starting to see more of a transparency now, but it's at the closures of their journeys, where people like, oh, I quit YouTube and here's why. And then they list all of the things that they went through and the issues and why they decided to quit. And maybe if that picture is painted more honestly, then, it could change the perspective of people that want to join in on. But I'll tell you this, some of the people that saw me from the beginning, okay? And they popped in for a couple days and was upset and jealous, even though they knew. So some people just rotten, okay? Yeah. Some people are good, some people just rotten. That's true.
Like a cracked tooth.
What'd you say?
Is that they rot like a cracked tooth.
They need to see the dentist. So our next question is, I do have, the list of questions that I sent you guys, but one of the things I want to ask off of one of the things that one of you guys said was, as far as Keandra, when you said you want people that come to your channel to have a safe space, right? And that is something that, advocating for protecting your space is definitely something that is important, I believe. So for each of you guys, I do want to ask, how do you create a safe space for you and your community? Because none of you guys want the drama or like the drama from what you guys have mentioned, right? So how do you keep that out of the space that you are in with your community? Keandra, I'll start with you.
I don't necessarily have, I do. Okay. So there are so I have platforms where it's just open to everybody, where there's YouTube or whatever. And then I have more secluded. I know you got like Patreon and, all of those secluded platforms that people pay in groups. I think you can be a little bit more protective in those smaller settings that people may pay into or may be free or whatever. But when it's just open to the public, it's harder to kind of like navigate that space. But if I got control over it, and if I see it or somebody on my team see you saying something crazy or acting, I don't care about the engagement. Well, I do care about engagement, but I would rather that negative comment be deleted and that person being removed from my page than to kind of just allow it to be there. I don't want anybody coming into my space and feeling like they're going to get attacked. Oh, if I comment on Keandra's video, 10 people are going to come back and attack me. Like, I don't want that vibe, and I don't want them to feel like I'm not protecting them either. And so while I'm not the popo, I'm not the police, I try to do my best to protect my people. And I don't know how accurate this is, but I've seen another creator. His name is Stefan Speaks. He's in the relationship space, and he has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. And he talked about how he goes and does the same thing. Like if he sees a negative comment, or him and his team, he will delete the comment because he feels like negativity breeds more negativity. And I was like, I kind of like that vibe, you know? And so I just want as much positivity in the comments as possible. You can disagree. I don't have a problem with, having debates, and dialogue and disagreements. But when it gets to be disrespectful, that's when I have a problem.
Supreme, what about you?
Funny enough, the opposite is happening for me right now. I started doing more dancing and stuff on Instagram and TikTok, and the videos have been blowing up. And in return, again, that's why I was laughing. You said YouTube they're savages. Well, let me tell you about Instagram. Okay. I think why Instagram hurts a little bit more is because they're actually real people. Like you can actually go in and see that they have posted, like these are real people who drop, the craziest statements. So I've been getting called a boy for the past, I know, blasphemy, but I've been getting called a boy for the past month. And I was like, okay, I'm not sure. I'm like, maybe? Okay. But it was just a lot, right? It was a lot of conversations. I had a conversation with my friends. I was like, it's crazy the time we're in that people would still question. It doesn't matter if you say you are. They're still like, saying it's like, does it matter if I was or not, right? Why does it matter, right? Like, they'd be like, you a dude? Question mark. I'm like, no, but if I was, like, why? Like, someone was saying, like, they were questioning my sexuality. And I was like, but I'm not. But even if I was, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't even want to be like, I am not. But it's like, I don't even want it to sit, because if I was, what would be the issue? So I'm the opposite. And I don't even know, like you said, open spaces are harder to kind of, control. Because once something goes viral on Instagram, there's no way I'm going through all those comments and deleting stuff.
That's so true.
When it gets to a point, disrespect, I think that's when I might go in and block. But I do let them have their fun. I let them chew me up a little bit. I do. I have to admit, I do that. But I don't see it for me as, oh, my community's in there and now they're, in danger. I'm getting beat up. I'm getting jumped. I'm taking the heat. You know what I'm saying? And my friends laugh. Sometimes they go and they defending me at this point. They go in there and be like, yo, mama. So, I'm just like, I know that's right. Y'all better stick up for me. But I think it just depends. But when it comes to Twitch and YouTube and you're streaming, that's where I find it important. When you're having a stream and people come in and say things, immediately you got to go. I don't care if you add it to the viewer list. You can be banned and still be on the viewer list, apparently. You know what I'm saying? You can still watch from the shadows, which I don't understand, but you can. So I would rather, I'm protecting that space because you're directly having conversations with people ongoing. You leave a comment, my community can just choose not to read the comments. Like, guys, don't go to them comments because you gonna see me getting killed.
I kind of want to.
No, and you know what I did? I actually went to go look at other people's comments of viral videos that I've seen on my Explore page, and it's all the same.
Yeah,
I was like, you don't get out of it. There's actually like the first couple. So I will say, and I might change my tactics, but I typically will pin. This is gonna sound crazy. I will pin the bad ones, the ones that are like outrageous. And I pin them only to show people, like, this is social media. Like, this is what people will say. And you can see in the comments, people replying, like, they're defending me. And so one of the things that I did recently was a video, and it was trying to shed light about a certain Fortnite emote they use. And it was an emote. The song was from someone who shouldn't have a platform. And people were, like, saying all types of stuff. So the people who, like, disagreed, I just pinned the comment and let the other people chew them up. Because I was like, I want people to see that this is your mindset. So people exist like this. So y'all can see, like, I'm not crazy. Like, you're not in a world where people all think the same. But I will make sure that people know. So that way, if you get a girlfriend and she come and she see on my page that you commented this, now she know that you are. Yeah, I want them to know. I'm putting you on blast. And I'm going to put it in my story. I want people to see, just in case your friend clicks by, like, wait, that's my friend.
Come here. Is this your comment? Is this your comment?
Yeah. I want the receipt. I want you to be able to go back and see the receipt. Because people be quick to delete stuff or like say stuff in the shadows. Now I'm gonna put you on front stage. You wanna say it? I'm gonna put you on the front stage, front and center. Perform for us. Let me see what else you got. I mean, it's crazy. They be defending the wildest stuff. Like I'm talking about the
for real
stuff. And
for
you're
real.
like, the fact that you actually think like that. I'm like, they'll say the famous excuse is like, why should I care what people do in their personal life? What?
If they kept it personal, then it wouldn't have mattered. Like we wouldn't be talking about it.
Exactly.
That's one thing.
Exactly.
they're like, I can't see, I'm blind. I'm like, no, wake up. Wake up. So yeah, it's a bit, I'm an opposite, you know, but when it comes to live streaming, for sure, just make it, I ban you out. Like I don't even have mods, and I'd be like quick to stop the middle of the game and be like, hold on. Yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah.
BigCheese, what about you? How do you create a safe space or maintain a safe space? Those exhales, bro. Those exhales.
Because when we're talking about a safe space, you know, I used to say that a lot. Like, this is a safe space. You ain't got nothing to worry about, et cetera, et cetera. But we're talking about social media. We're talking about streaming platforms and content creating platforms. They're going to find a way to try to knock your safe space. And for me, like, I have to protect myself a lot more because when I'm streaming or when I'm creating content, we got to do things differently as far as streaming. We got to put on the follower mode just in case somebody come in and say something racist or say something stupid. And then we got to make sure that nobody's affected by that because people handle things differently. People handle trauma differently. And I try to be that family-friendly streamer, you know, try not to curse and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it happens, you know, it happens. And I try to, you know, show the world that, yeah, you can still do good gaming without going crazy as far as, you know, your verbals or whatnot. And I didn't push away from it. I didn't pull away from it or whatnot, but I realized me being family friendly is also a curse more than it is a gift. Because people, like, you know, they bring their kids into my channel.
Kids is toxic, bro. Kids is toxic.
Kids are more toxic than adults now. They are more than I do. I'm like, you 6. But that's what I'm saying. It's like I try to make the environment that I'm in a safe spot. But a lot of people don't appreciate your safe space. A lot of people don't. They'll take your safe space for granted. Which is why I match energy today. I wish you would. Anybody that's in my circle, I'm going to protect me and mine for sure. And what I learned is that when I try to build a safe space, it was cool for the moment. It was all right. But I still have the same people around me as far as my space. It's still safe, you know, with the racist stuff and all that stuff. We block those words. We get the negative people out the way, the mass bot follows, et cetera, et cetera. But when it comes to my peace, my space, and my community, I appreciate them more than anybody know. I like it's my wife, me, my community, and everybody else. And if everybody else ain't rocking with what I'm doing or what I'm trying to do as far as my community or anybody that I affiliate myself with, like, you know, Christine or Supreme, I can't rock with that. I can't support
leave me out. That's cool.
I just met you.
But you know me now. You know me
right.
Now, so.
See, I was.
It's 49 minutes in.
I was building that up, and you just gonna cut me off? Okay, Uno. All right, bet. All right. You gonna cut me off? No, but
stuck with me now.
Oh my God! You said, oh my God! My wife says that all the time. Oh Lord, I don't need 2 of y'all. I don't need 2 of y'all.
That's why I tell my husband too. You can't get rid of me.
You stick with me.
You can try. Okay. Till death do us part, baby. Okay. Yeah. Let me know.
That's another thing that I try to keep a safe space because, you know, you say you ain't no snitch. My wife is. All right. My wife is a full-fledged PO. You know, I don't mean post office. I mean a probation officer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like she's a full-fledged snitch, and like she don't play about me or my community or what I love doing. So that's why it's like I don't want her to go out her way and try to help me with something that could be fixed. I can block them, I can mute them, I can get all that mess out of the way. But that woman, fellas, get you a woman that don't play about you. I ain't talking about no control. I mean, if they don't play about you, they will not. Nobody will ever not threaten you because she a snitch. She gonna put you in jail. I ain't gonna.
She worried about all that other.
Don't snitch on her snitching though. You gotta keep it a secret that she be telling. Okay.
Look, I'm telling you right now. If you look up snitch in the dictionary, this her. That's all her. So, but I love everything that surrounds me, my wife, my family, my community, you know what I'm saying, my friends, even you, Keandra.
Why'd you say it like that though?
Because
like,
I gotta be petty with it. I gotta be petty, a little bit petty, but I just want people to understand when you make yourself a peaceful, spaceful place, somebody's gonna try to invade. It's up to you. It's up to you. As the creator, the streamer, it's up to you to make sure that you keep that balance to where you keep yourself in a peaceful mind state, because things will happen throughout your journey. So you have to keep yourself in a mental mind state to where, okay, this happened. All right, let's have a meeting, guys. How we gonna resolve this? How we gonna take care of this? But if it's like something simple, like in your chat, get them up out of there. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to get somebody out of your life that wasn't there to begin with.
Period.
So.
I agree with all of these things as far as like, and I love the breakdown of streaming versus like, you know, the social media platforms, right? Because there is a difference, right? And when you're in the moment, you are able to address things right away. And I think that can shape your space a lot faster than, you know, Instagram. Because like you said, like you post something on Instagram, that person, it could be days. Sometimes it's days before I check my Instagram again, right? Whereas in a live stream, somebody's right there, right then and there. One of the things that I would do is I would set up a list of rules and a quote that I would say constantly, like, if you could type, you could read. So read the rules in the description box below, right? And a lot of times in live streams, they're doing things for attention. So if it comes to calling out, I'm not saying your name. I'm not saying your name, right? I reserve saying your name to paid members, paid subs. That's it. I'm not saying your name, especially if you act out of pocket. I'm not going to give you the opportunity to say your name. I'm going to say thank you for getting my daughter some Cheetos, because on YouTube it's paid per view. Okay, so thank you for these Cheetos. All right, and because we love Cheetos here and Doritos. All right, but thank you for the chips. And what I've been doing, like my mods set up the space, and Destiny had posted about how she don't play. My mods don't play. My mods definitely do not play. And in live streams, when it comes to blocking people, like you guys have said, any creator out there, don't be afraid to block. Don't be afraid to ban. If you're like, oh, well, I don't want, no, you got to protect your space, because listen, you know what? Hot take. I think it's lazy to say, oh, when like if a creator's like stream gets really toxic or comment section gets really toxic, and they like, oh, well, I can't, there's nothing I can do about it. I can't that's lazy to me. And not in the aspect meaning that you have to control everyone, because you can't control everyone. It's the internet, right? But when people don't even make the effort and they just let that ish go wild, right? That you're being lazy. And I've seen some big creators that when their audience was like a scorched earth to another creator, the excuse was, well, we can't control it. No, you could say you don't stand by their actions. You can set the tone. I don't approve of that. I don't stand with this. That is not what I represent. And if you are a fan of me, you will not do that.
Yeah.
Okay. The only person who's like, oh, like that, you know, the Tangerine be doing that. So remember them. Okay. Remember that. The Tangerine be doing that. Oh, I can't control it. That's their actions. Nah, you be. It's an election year and I live in Florida. So I'm sorry. I apologize. But yeah.
Florida gang all day.
Try to what side do we choose? But that's politics is other thing. Okay. With mental health and politics and being black, it's a lot of intersections. Okay.
It's tiring.
It is tiring. When we go, are we gonna have somebody for us? Okay, are we?
No.
Because Grandpa ain't doing nothing, and Tangerine want to run again. So, anyways, like I was saying, back with the same space. One of the things. So Supreme, I do like the petty. I do like the petty. If you catch me, like most times, I'll delete it. Right? I'll ignore it if I see a bad comment, mean comment. But if you catch me right time, right moment, and I got the time, it happens a few times on Instagram.
Exactly.
I'll be like, I'm replying, right? I'm replying. Somebody said something, and I was like, I need you to clarify what you mean because I don't even understand this.
Yeah, it's about how you respond. It's not even like how I'm responding. I'm actually curious to get more. I want to know why you think.
I want to understand. I want to understand.
Tell me more.
Why'd you fix up?
Tell me more.
Why is this? Hello? Yeah, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm solution oriented. Like I'm heavy on solutions. People call me fixer upper. I'm always trying to find a way to fix people because I'm just like, there's just no way you on this internet saying this like out loud. So I can't believe
with
it.
your whole
chest. With your whole chest. It's like
double the volume.
There is literally right and wrong. Like there are things that are right and wrong, and it's like there's just no way you think like that. And or sometimes I just feel like some people genuinely don't know, and I think some people, some content creators have a hard time like discerning that. Like some people are children and they just don't know. And it's actually your benefit to educate them because maybe they don't know. It's like it could be that simple. Someone was like that, like the people who were saying, "Are you a boy?" Some of them would follow up with, and I don't mean no disrespect. I just really am curious. It's like, okay, I don't really have to be hostile for this. Like at this point, why don't I just clear the air? Hey, I am a woman, and it's simple as that. And then they're really the ones who are nice will fall by like, okay, thank you for telling me. And it's like, but I said, look, y'all let me get famous. Y'all got the right one. You got the right one.
So on Twitter since 2020, a part of my name is #Black Lives Matter, right? And every year, without fail, I'm gonna say it was more frequent before, but now it's like 4 times a year. I'll get tagged in things where people want to talk about Black Lives Matter, right? Or they'll tag me along with CNN and like MSNBC and all these other things. And I'll reply. Like some of the times I reply, sometimes I do block, right? But sometimes like there's one, I was like, okay, now you got me. Right time, right day. I got time. I want to understand why you thought that. I'm like, did you even look at my Twitter? This is a whole gaming content creation Twitter. You got CNN and MSNBC. One of these is not like the other. Okay. Right? Let's talk about this. Let's have a conversation. Okay. But yeah, at the end of the day, if you do whatever gives you peace, do whatever gives you peace. But Keandra, I want to ask you, like, as a licensed therapist, let's flex, one of your things, because you got a lot of things. Okay. Let's flex one of your things.
Period.
What are tips that you would want to give like creators or people listening that are on social media, whether they're a user, I was going to say user or abuser, but user or, well, social media can be abused. People be like, really, for real. But like whether you are a receiver or a giver on social media, what tips do you think will be helpful?
Yeah, I think the first thing that I would say is to, and I know it's probably gonna sound cheesy, but practice empathy. I think especially post-pandemic, and I can tell y'all some stories about some things that I have went through the last 4 years while doing this whole content creation journey that people will probably be surprised about, right? So it's like on the outside, you guys can see, TV, books, Forbes, all of these really dope things. But if you really peel back my life and I start to share, what I've gone through with my family, my own mental health stuff, medical issues that's been like all of the things that's going on, you will probably be like, whoa, I didn't even know that. So if you're going through that, individually, think about the other person on the opposite side, whether they are the creator or if there's other people in your chat, they're going through something, whatever it is. And so that's why I try not to, clap back, because I know my clap back game my words cut, you know, they cut. And so I'm like, let me reel myself in, because I always think about how all of these, you know, how all of these tweets and stuff recirculate and come back a decade.
Oh, they do,
later.
girl. When you
like,
get your movie, they will be like, here's the list of Keandra Jackson tweets from 2000, the year 2000.
And I'll be ruined before I even, you know, get to where I'm trying to get to. And so I always think about that, especially for me. It's just like, is somebody gonna screenshot this and spin the block on this, you know, at a later time? So I would say empathy. I would say set your personal rules too. Just like you said, when you're gaming and things, you know, you have the rules there, but also internally, what are your values? What are some of the things that you want your community or you want to live by, you know, and try to practice and be those things. Because everybody can be hating and producing hatred, you know, out into the world. Somebody gotta be nice and kind. And also, all of this is boundaries too, right?
Yeah.
Like, boundaries is just invisible lines of how you allow other people to treat you, you know, whether it's your time, your money, your social media platform, your sleep, your food. You know, we have boundaries around everything, and we have to figure out what ours is, and also keep them, because a lot of people don't keep the boundary, which is a part of the issue. They let stuff slide too much. So off the top of the dome, empathy, you know, set your own rules, whether that's internal or external, and also keep your boundaries strong.
That's true.
Yeah.
Remember that, Supreme. Okay. Remember that. Well, no, because earlier she said she's big on putting the mask on other people. You know, you gotta put on yourself. Okay.
Selfish.
And I'm saying, yes, be selfish. Be selfish. Be like, I need to take care of me first for a second. Take care of you.
First, Lucius.
Yes.
For sure. For sure.
Yes. Also, that does carry into marriage as well.
Oh, God.
Which also, congratulations. Congratulations, Supreme.
Thank you.
She's getting married this year, right? This year you're getting married?
In 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Oh, yes. Congratulations.
Wow.
Thank you. Yeah.
That marriage, like, it's serious. You know,
yeah. I mean, we've been together for 8 years, so I know it's a different ball game, but even just the lead up of marriage, premarital counseling, that is hard itself. You know, you have to really break a lot of things down that you've never had to, just being boyfriend and girlfriend. So it's actually helpful, though. I'd be telling people, like, I actually get to apply those same things that I'm learning in my marriage. It's really just relationship counseling, and any relationship is a relationship. My friendship, my work relationship. So I've been using it, you know, honestly, and it's definitely helpful. And it's a lot of reflection, you know. It's like, dang, I do that. Like, I definitely need to work on that, and that's hard. Okay, that's hard for anybody to self-reflect and be like, all right, I probably did set the flame on that one. You know what I'm saying? And you got to go back, like, all right, bro. Okay, you know, I know I can't be right about everything, but I am mostly. No.
Right. You got to get some things wrong, though. You got to get some things
wrong. Some things I got to get wrong, but most of it.
Oh, Lord. This is, you're going to have a good marriage, because that's exactly how everything works.
You know what's funny? It's good that, but still acknowledgement, the fact that, like, I applaud you for doing the work and actually running in acknowledgement, because the people that are even older than we are on this call that cannot acknowledge a simple little thing that they do wrong, it's honestly just makes me want to walk into traffic. It can be so bad, like the aspect of how the stubbornness and the, you know, but that's a whole other thing. Anyways, next question is, how do you express or discuss mental health with your community? Keandra, I imagine yours is more direct and on the forefront, since that is, you know, that is what you walk in, that is what you do, and that is how you enter. Like, I saw you mention Forbes. Okay, you know, shout out to Forbes. I see that Forbes back there. You know,
you see it.
Yes. So walking into rooms with that, you know, how for you, how do, obviously it's something that you do, but I guess for you, I'll change the question a little bit. Why was mental health the walk that you wanted to take?
That's a good question. I feel like it chose me. Honestly, I don't necessarily believe that I am a therapist because, like, oh yeah, I've always wanted to be. I've always, but when I look back on the history of my life, I've always been the secret keeper all the way since elementary school. Like, people telling me secrets, and I just knowing things and being able to give good advice. And so I think it was like God's journey of like pruning me all the way up into this process. And honestly, most therapists get into this game. Well, I don't want to call it a game, but get into this field because of their own ish, right? Like I got into it because I grew up in a home. I grew up in Compton, California, CPT. That's why y'all feel a little bit of the hoodness that comes out, when I'm talking from time to time.
Not y'all saying, the Compton, it makes sense.
Snoop Dogg.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Oh, goodness. So we know which side you were on, okay, in the whole.
But that's also one of the things that makes me relatable, right? I break all of the molds of what a typical therapist typically looks like, right? Most therapists are either black or, male or white. In our field, right? And so I'm a black female millennial. They got natural hair, even though y'all don't see it pull back now, and I keep it real. I have a little hood flair, but I know my stuff. And so I think that really helps me relate to other people. But it was my own issues. I grew up in Compton, so we didn't have like a lot of things. I also grew up where my father was physically abusive to my mom. And so I seen broken relationships and no one taking care of their mental health in my family and community. And I'm like, this ain't supposed to be like this. Like, this is wrong. So I think that coupled with just the history of me being the secret keeper really led me to this path and this journey. So I've always been very vocal about mental health and how important it is, even when the Black community is like, girl, what you talking about? I'm like, this is a thing and we need it more than anybody else. So I'm very direct with my mental health content, and I can see that it's helping people. I have people, purchasing things from my website in different countries, and I'm like, this is wild to me. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're helping the world.
Period.
Make it a better place.
It's mind blowing, like I literally had someone purchase something, in all over different places. And every time I see something come through, I'm just like, what? This person is in parts of India? Like, how did you find me? Like, how did we get here? Like there's so many questions.
Media.
Right. That's the benefit.
But that just really shows when you're passionate about something, like it'll reach who it needs to reach, regardless of culture, regardless of race, ethnicity, spirituality, like it'll get to who it needs to get to.
That's true. Amen. Supreme, how do you discuss or express mental health to your community?
I think for me, it's just honesty, right? A lot of people, I think most streamers experience this. A lot of people come in, they'll say, hi, how are you? And some days I'm not doing good. Like there are some days when I am not, and I don't ever just always say, I'm good. It's never just the same. Like some days I'm like, I'm tired. Because I do co-working streams, and I'm so glad that I started doing those. I started doing those last year, and ever since I've been consistent. I do those. I work from home, and anytime I work from home, I have my stream pulled up because I was working so much, so I couldn't stream. So I was like, I gotta find a way to stream, and that was my response.
I love that.
And it gives my community a chance to come in, especially the big creators, to ask me questions. They ask me for advice, some things about content creation stuff, just in general. I also, again, child of God, faithful girl. So I do have a prayer request, channel redemption. People come in, they request for prayers. Sometimes I just sit, I'm like, look, whatever you believe, I don't care. Bow your head, close your eyes, be quiet. I'm about to pray, And it's just like, I'm serious. Like, I'm like, excuse me for a second, but we about to pray. You know what I'm saying? And I'm praying for everybody. I mean, I know you requested it, but everybody getting touched on today. Bow, touch in the name of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So all of that. All of that. And I think it just like it's just like real. It's just real. Like it makes me feel like they're not so far away. Like, let's say I become this big streamer, like I feel like I'm still like in the roots of it, right? Like you can talk to me about some things, and you know, I don't believe in the trauma dumping, you know, coming into the chat type deal, but I feel like I still provide a space of like honesty. Like if you having a bad day, you having a bad day, and it is just that. And it ain't, I don't respond with, oh, you be all right, you know, like none of that. It's just like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Like I really, you know, I'm pray for you. I hope it gets better. I understand. Oh, I'm with you on that one. Like, girl, we down bad. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just mutual agreement, you know? And then hopefully the next day they come in, they say, hi, how are you? I always hope to have the best mood, but it's just not the case. And you can't just decide not to stream every time you don't feel good. Shoot, I would only be streaming probably once a week if that was the case. You know what I'm saying? Like if I actually streamed off of my mood, you wouldn't see me, because half the time, I mean, like in this economy, we having a bad time, and that's just
we are.
We having a terrible time. Like it's rough out here. So if I really went off of just like how I'm feeling, the recession that they won't admit to, you know what I'm saying? So it's like if I went off how I really felt, man, I wouldn't be a streamer. I just wouldn't be, because y'all, I can't fake for nobody. I'm not about to sit here and smile. But if they make me smile, you know what I'm saying? I think that's another thing. Like they make you happy. So by the time I'm done streaming, I hope to have had a better day from that, you know? And I think sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes they may piss you off and actually, you know, trigger you and make it worse. So it's a hit or miss. It can be a hit or miss. Or the game itself pisses you off.
The game.
And you're just done. The game will push you over the edge. It'll be the one.
There have been a couple. I've had a Crash Bandicoots that for me for sure. I definitely lost my character that day. Okay, I don't normally curse, but Crash Bandicoot brought a lot of words out. Okay, and
gotta find that bar now.
No, you don't need to. So, BigCheese, let's distract you with the question: how do you express or discuss mental health with your community?
Yeah, hey Christine, Crash Bandicoot. No. I'm an open book, honestly. You know, I know when people come into my stream, they're like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, you know, we always like to lie to people that we don't really affiliate ourselves with. I'm good. You know, I'm all right. I'm good. But some people that we know, like, hey, I'm straight, bro. Hey, I just had me a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, bro. I feel good. Like you express yourself differently to people that you don't know and who you do know. But for me, like I'm a open book for sure, because there was a time where actually it was like a couple months ago, I did the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth marathon. I didn't stop streaming for like a whole week. I had a whole what thing called, the little bed in here. I was like, look, I see y'all wake up, I'm good. And then like sometimes I'll take a break and then I'll do some music. Like I'll make some music, like a parody to make somebody laugh. And then it was like, this made me laugh, but I feel this because it's talking about myself. You know what I'm saying? And like, I know that I became an open book when I started busting out crying just out of nowhere. I was like, this is a battle that I'm going through. You know, I'm a type 2 diabetic. I'm fighting for my life. I'm fighting for my wife who is disabled. I'm fighting for my community. I'm fighting for everybody. And this is a battle. And when I realized that at that moment that I just became an open book, is because I don't really cry on streams like that. I ain't no custard. Like I don't really cry like that on streams.
Well, as someone who does cry a lot, I'm okay with being a custard. Okay.
Yeah, you go custard. Change your name to A Custer. A Custine. You know what I'm talking about? Like custard.
I'm happy to be a custard.
But it's I always express myself, because my wife always tell me I wear my emotions on my sleeves, and I do. I definitely do. Like if I'm angry about something, I talk about it, or if I'm concerned about something, I talk about it, because I'm the type of person that will communicate to you that I have a concern. And if you can't understand what I'm talking to you about as far as my concerns, then there's no need to talk. So sometimes I'll shut down too. I'll isolate myself because I came to you with an issue. I came to you with a concern and it just got brushed off. And it's like, all right, bet. So with my community, I am more open, and people literally understand what I'm going through, because some people also have type 2 diabetes, or they take care of somebody else, they're a caregiver of somebody else, or they're doing things on their own, or they're struggling with doing this or doing that. So you're going to find people that can actually understand what you're going through. Mm-hmm. And then there's the other side. They'd be like, man, you'll be all right. Like you said, it's like,
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't like that. I don't like
that.
when people just like, it's dismissive to me.
It's
like,
very
that's
dismissive.
generational though. That's a generational curse that we have to break, because that's stuff that we had to say, because it was, you gonna be all right. It could be worse, you know. It was always, it could be worse.
Oh yeah, it could be worse.
Okay, well, we're way past that. Okay, we're way past that now. It is worse. Okay, it is worse.
At the end of the day, tomorrow's another day. Like, I know that. I'm still here.
I know that.
That's how time works.
But I'm hurting right now. Like, what do you mean? Like, I tell myself right now.
We talk about time or my problems. What are we doing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you can't take back time, but you can move forward.
You triggered me there. You said that, and it's so dismissive. It really is.
Yeah, but I just realized that I isolated myself way too much, but to where it's like I ain't want to talk to nobody. I ain't even want to talk to my wife about my problems. Like I don't want to talk to nobody, because nobody will get me. Nobody will understand me. And then I actually sat down and I talked to my wife. She was like, "What took you so damn long?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know. Like you my A1, you my real. I'm supposed to tell you everything." And she was like, "Well, I understand," because she knows about everything about me, like generational curses and how I broke generational curses and stuff like that. It's like now it's like I'm more open, because maybe I can be able to help somebody else that's going through the same thing. I don't gotta know you. You know what I'm saying? You can be a full-fledged stranger. You might be going through the same thing I'm going through, and you may be looking for an answer. Maybe I gave you an answer, and they'll come back like, "Hey, bro, the second that you told me about the type 2 diabetes, man, I had to get off my own feet and I had to go do something about it myself." You know what I'm saying? And like the day that you told me that you was recovering from a stroke back in 2020, I had to get back off my feet and I had to do better. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I am a wreck myself. You know, I'm not a registered disabled person, but having a stroke can actually knock you off your feet, literally. And bouncing back from that is kind of crazy. And, you know, taking care of another individual that's disabled, that's another war at hand too. So when I tell you, don't keep things bottled in, seriously, don't do that. Because I kept things bottled in, and that's another reason why I had a stroke, because if so much bottled into my system, it's like shut down. So let it go.
Living your truth is like what healed a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Like seeing your truth and living your truth and being honest. And I do appreciate that both of you guys are sharing like your honesty with your audience, right? And like your ups and your downs. And I think that it's something that is extremely helpful. I'm definitely, you know, like I mentioned, my family's Jamaican. Okay. So sharing our feelings isn't the things we do. Okay. So like being vulnerable was a very, very difficult thing. And I had a rough childhood, and the aspect of repressing and suppressing. Okay. Like let's bottle it up in order to survive. It was a survival technique, right? That definitely got out of hand, and I'm high functioning. So when it comes to like, I can be severely depressed, cut on my stream, have an amazing stream, and then after go back to my depression. Like it was something that I could come back to, you know, like, okay, you pause, let's have fun. And now, all right, I'll pick you up right after, you know? Right. So it was definitely a very difficult thing. And I can attest to that aspect of, you know, bottling things up. You can only bottle up so much until it comes out in some type of way or some type of fashion. And for me, last year was a very like mental health was deteriorating for years, but for last year it came to a head where those certain thoughts were on a monthly basis, and then they got to a daily basis. And that's where I was like, okay, I'm desperate. I'm desperately in need, because I don't want my daughter to grow up thinking that she wasn't good enough for me to stay alive. Right. So because of that, and, you know, I love my husband, and I don't want to, You know, that's a question. You can do he does a lot of things for me, but doing everything you can and still having someone exit like that is not something I wanted to leave on them. So I was definitely desperate. And I'm like, okay, if I share this on social media, because I'm high functioning. So like when it comes to working, it's like, if you want me to go somewhere with you just to hang out, you may or may not see me. But if you like, hey, let's go link up so we could work, I'm gonna show up. Like, that's the mindset I'm in. So I'm like, if I am honest about, okay, I need to find therapy on social media, I'll be more motivated to stick with it and do the work of trying to fix the situation. Because, doing the same things weren't helping, and then long story short, like what I said from the beginning of the stream, so a lot of people were very applauding and accepting of being honest about what, hey, I need a therapist, I need therapy, and these are my parameters for therapy. Because that's another thing, like what Keandra was saying about boundaries for everything. I think we also have, like, in the type of care we want to get, right, there are certain layers on that, and I listed those things out, and Keandra had sent a list of resources, and in doing that I found a therapist and I started therapy last year. I'm on medication for depression and anxiety, proudly, because that's another thing, like the aspect of medication. I know that as a Black person, we have a very bad relationship with the medical industry,
Yeah.
and whenever mental health is on the outer cusp of that, and then medication for mental health, you notice you don't see my hand, right? So like that it's a whole thing. So proudly mentioning, like, if you have a headache, you take Tylenol for your headache,
right,
and kind of making it that narrowing it down like that. Not everybody that is on antidepressants or stuff for anxiety is thinking about, let me OD on that stuff, right? In fact, I try to be very careful with how I take it, when I take it, what do I eat with it, depending on whatever it may be. So that way, because I want to live,
yeah,
I want to make it.
You have a lot to live for.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
You are here for a reason. I'm gonna make sure that big bro got you off real.
Don't make me cry. Okay, I tried not to.
No, ain't you a crybaby? Ain't you a crybaby though?
I am. Custard?
Okay, yeah,
Hey, Custard.
Proud Custard. I'm gonna change my name. How do I change my name on there? I'm gonna change it to Proud Custard. Okay.
Crazy.
Keep it 50-50.
Okay. Boom.
Oh my
right?
gosh.
Proud Custard. Okay. So all right, next question, and then we'll take some questions from the audience, because I know we had, which, mind you, this conversation, I'm going to tell you guys, my heart is full. Okay, thank you guys so much for this. My heart is very full, and I love that so many people are getting to hear your truths and hear how you guys do things. So you know what? I want to skip from what I have here, and this is something that popped into my mind. What is like a mental health, people like, oh, list their icks, what is like a mental health ick that you have? So like something that, listing of like your mental health boundaries where you're like, this is definitely a no. Either I'm not participating in it, or if somebody's doing it, I'm not a part of that. Like, what is a mental health ick that you have, or something that really is like your boundary of like, okay, I gotta go. BigCheese, we'll start with you, and then we'll go backwards.
Anything negative, honestly. Like, anything negative is an ick for me, but the main thing is using me to get to somebody else. I hate it. I despise it, because it's like, I'm a content creator myself, and I think I do pretty good as far as what I do. I try to make sure to do everything I can, but the fact that I'm getting hit up and be like, hey man, can you give me a content with that's a big ick for me. Because first of all, how are you going to make it in any industry or anywhere that you're trying to go to by always getting handouts and like, oh, I can connect you, that's no problem. But if you're contacting me for somebody else and I do the same thing, that's a problem for me. Because as a person that always try to tell us, hey, make sure you have your emails and your profiles. up then. I'm not the one to hit up for. I am not the third party. I am not the person I'm not the middleman. That's not me. I'm not a middleman person. All right. It's bad enough I ain't got my wallet because my wife took it. I got no pockets. So I don't need nobody trying to go through me to get to somebody else. That's an ick for me.
May I ask, if you don't, and if you don't want to share, that's fine. How does it, when someone does that, how does that make you feel?
I feel so used. I feel like, no, it makes me feel like I'm not good enough for the opportunities that they're trying to give out. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, bro, like, do you understand? I got 20 years of experience.
Not you looking up when you said it. 20 years.
No, but like I have experience on these activations that they call it. You see what I'm saying? I know what to do. I know how to tell you right now. I know how to sell raid to a roach. I know how to do this stuff because I've been doing it for so long. But the fact that you just pass by me, like I don't even exist to try to get to somebody else, and it's like, whew, that kind of hurts because I could have did this, no problem. I got the space to do it now. I have my soundboard to make sure every talking point is done. I can do all that stuff, but to just pass by me to get to somebody else because you feel like I'm not important, that kind of sucks. That's a big ick for me. So I try to ignore all emails that do that. I despise that.
I love that. I love that you shared that is what I mean, not the aspect of that. I will concur and be honest and say that I understand, and I do feel that too. Like if someone is reaching out to me just to get to somebody else, that instant feeling of, okay, I wasn't good enough is the first feeling that I have. And also depending on how you do it, right? Depending on how you do it, you could be someone who's like, who plays the long game. People who play the long game, I don't mind that. Okay. You play the long game where you're like, I'll partner, I'll collaborate with you. And then when I feel like you might be comfortable, then I ask. I don't mind the long game because you put in the work. All right. You put in the work. But for people that just be like, hey, so can you connect me with this other person? That I instantly, yes, I also feel like, okay, I wasn't good enough. It makes me feel like I'm not good enough for it.
They also try to bar
and
it
everything
too.
I've done.
Yeah.
Right. Everything I've done meant nothing,
That's bothersome to me. All the work I put in makes it seem like it was for nothing.
Nothing, right? All them 20 years.
Ooh. Oh my God.
Supreme. So for you, what's the mental health ick that you have?
I think there's a lot, but I think the one that comes to mind first is I call it, I don't know this, I hate using this word because the word toxic became like, people started to use it wrong, I guess, like overusing it. But it could still be true, but toxic or hyper positivity. And I experienced that a lot with going in school. And there were just like people who just walk the walk, talk the talk, but they were not okay. And I feel like it's dangerous to have that like mindset, or as an influencer or someone who is portraying that, because you're selling a false image, right? Per se. And so if someone, and they shouldn't, like I said, child of God, you shouldn't idolize nobody else, but if you do idolize these people and you know that you have people who look up to you, if you're not being completely transparent and everything is just, it's a bright sunny day, and if they don't have that bright sunny day, they will think something is wrong with them. So you almost become a robot. Like you're not even real. Like you're setting false standards. Like it's like you don't have to necessarily dox your information out and say what you're going through necessarily, but it like be a little bit more like realistic, right? If you can't possibly be having a great day every day, like it's not real. And it's like, and then like when you know the people, like if you know them, and it's like, I know that what you're saying, like you had a great time with this partnership with this company, like I know that that's not true. I know that you said that that's not true, but why would you say that? Because now you're gonna trap somebody else. Yeah, cat, right? It's cat. It's all cat.
At least you know.
I'm walking. Now I'm walking in a direction to say, okay, this brand must be great because you just sold me that dream.
Yeah.
And then I go and walk into the same steps and I have a terrible time, which you probably also did, but you decided to share just the positive side of it, right? And that stuff is so like it makes me sick when I know people who are just only just like, it's like toxic positivity. Like you don't feel bad. Like, oh, just be happy. I'm like, bro.
That's like back to what you said earlier, where like, oh, it could be worse, or like, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna have a good day without acknowledging what you're going through.
It's bad. It's unhealthy and it's dangerous, in my opinion, especially if you have a platform.
It's very dangerous because you don't know where it will lead to that next person believing you as far as that sponsor, and then they get sponsored, and then you go through a whole storm. It happens.
We have to be a community, like whether we know each other or not. Like it is important for us as content creators in any industry that you're in to stand on business, and say what is happening so that no one is blindsided. Like you might have dealt with it, that's your business, but I might not like some things. Like some things I might really, everybody has different values and different boundaries and different, hey, this is my last straw, I'm not dealing with that, right? But give me a chance. Like if you just say it's all good, then I'm taking your word for it because I'm believing your word, and that's one of the things. And the other thing, like I said, because I am, a very faithful based person, people who kind of like they mix up, they don't set, how do I explain it? Like there's therapy, but there's also you gotta do the other work too. There's two work. So and they just make it seem like that's not possible. So that's one of my icks, because I am faith based. I be trying to tell people like you can do as much of the therapy, as much as the the resources stuff as possible, but you also need to get yourself right in general, like spiritually. Like you can't possibly align on those things if your spirit self is like, it don't even know where it's going. You just like you're fixing like a shell. You're just fixing a shell. And that's what I'll be like. I be wanting to save people, but I just kind of gotta watch, I be wanting to preach a little bit, but I can't. So it's like,
don't save them.
I do what I can, but it's like they have to, they'll have to learn. But I will still speak out loud, and hopefully that will, it'll reach somebody. Whoever's supposed to reach it, it'll get to them.
And that's why I love you, honestly, because you will still show your concern for something. And most of us, we were all children before. We're like, no, I want to do this. You'd be like, all right, go ahead, touch the stove, go ahead, touch the stove. And be like, I try to tell you, but nobody listens to me. And sometimes if you are really like, if you really respect and you appreciate that person and you love that person, you pull them to the side, like, hey man, I have a concern, and I'm just letting you know ahead of time. This may not be the road you want to travel.
Just walk into it. Like, why would you just let somebody just walk into the trap that you trapped yourself in before? Like, that don't even make no sense.
Right. But it's a lot of I told you so's too. You gotta remember that. So it's like, okay, no, go ahead, run it. Instead of pulling them back, like I don't want this to happen to you, because sometimes injuries can occur. People can be hurt from it. People can have a bad experience, and it's like, I'm trying to pull you back. You don't want to listen to me.
But I do think that there is like another that same side of the coin for other creators, like being in spaces where they feel comfortable, sharing the information and sharing like those insights. When Keandra was saying like that love, having that love and compassion, or like giving that love and that grace, like other people are hurting too. I've been in situations where I'm ready to like talk to people, but they're like, oh, that's Christine, and then I'm by myself, like as if like they're not, like they don't want to approach, right? Because they may feel like, oh, I'm bothering her, but I'm ready to speak, but I don't want to feel like, oh, I'm Christine, I've got 700,000 on this channel, 500,000 on this channel, you should talk to me, or I should talk to you. I'm not that type of person. So, and I've definitely been through the runner of trying to help people that don't want no help, or when you help people, they don't listen.
Right.
So for me, like, I love to help people, and I definitely am an open book. I don't gatekeep any information when somebody asks me, but I've learned that it can be difficult to walk into a space and try to teach people that have not told you they want to be taught.
Yeah.
So like,
Close
I would kind of
ears.
think,
Wow.
Right.
Their ears are closed.
Right. So like for some people, when it comes to like brand deals and things like that, I do feel like you may not love every brand that you work with, and you may not love every product that you promote. But if you can, what I do try to do is find an honest way to sell something, because bills do have to get paid. The light bill does not take love and affection. That light bill takes money. Yeah. And to do what I got to do, I need to pay that light bill. So sometimes I get you may have to sell, and if you can find an honest way to sell the product and that's a lot of brands want that anyways, because if you are falsely selling their brand and it doesn't fit for your audience, it's not going to work out. Right. So you do have to kind of navigate that. And sometimes like I've been bit in the back by when I tried to help somebody. And so I feel like we do want to be honest, but then some people don't want to hear. And then so some people are afraid to be honest. It becomes this kind of like give and take with those situations.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I love honesty. Tell me how you feel.
I prefer that. I prefer being direct. Don't out of courtesy say, hey, we should collab. Not to me. Because if you say it to me, I'm like, all right, write her name down. Okay, so I'm doing this thing. You want to be a part of it? Like, if you tell me you can't do throwaways, I take it as the truth. Yeah. Okay. We're going to work together. So, Keandra, for you, what's like I'm very interested to hear what you have to say, right? Because being in the mental health industry, and then like when we said the share feel, like different intersections that you live at, what's one or two mental health icks that you have that you're comfortable sharing?
I have a professional one and a personal one that I want to share. I think the professional one, I have a whole bunch, but I think the one that has been bothering my soul amongst other therapists and people in the mental health field is people who misuse mental health issues or terminology without doing further research. Hello. So just like Baby Supreme over here said, toxic positivity, narcissism is another one. All of these buzzwords.
Narcissism has been trending on TikTok recently.
And like,
I don't know if all y'all know the definition.
Right? It's wrong most of the time. Right. So it's quite annoying to be in the mental health field and people learn new terminology and it's wrong and they're using it inappropriately and inaccurately or putting labels on themselves or other people when that's not the proper diagnoses. And then when you try to correct them, they're not open to receiving the information. I'm like,
and they say make it like you attacking them. Well, that's not the definition. It's not an attack.
There's facts and there's opinion.
Is a personality disorder.
It's their right.
It's so wrong. My freedom of speech to say the wrong things and give incorrect information and educate people on something that I don't know.
How dare you impart on that?
Crazy. And they will argue down an expert, right? It's not just another person who's just having to I'm a whole therapist. I know what I'm talking about, but you want to be right. So fine, just use it wrong. And
go ahead, you have it.
But it's like we all have access to the internet, Google, YouTube, right? And sometimes misinformation is out there, but you can learn and really figure out what narcissism is, what toxicity is, and really figure those things out without talking to a therapist or whatever. But some people just hear somebody else say it and they're like, oh yeah, narcissist, and it's like, that's inaccurate. So that's one of my icks. And then also personally, people who intentionally overstep my boundaries that I have clearly set. So for the last 7 years, I have not worked on a Friday. That's what I call Self-Care Friday. That's my day. I choose to do whatever I want to do. I go to the beach because, I'm in Cali here. I might binge watch some TV shows. I might cook. I might do whatever I want to do. Massages, manis, pedis. And my family, friends, my assistant, everybody knows, don't bother Keandra on Fridays unless it's a big bag. Okay, big with zeros and commas.
Right? Mm-hmm. I'll step over a boundary for some commas, okay? That light bill. Hello.
I absolutely will, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But everybody knows that. So if you calling me or texting me, especially for something that's not an emergency, I'm going to have a problem when you're trying to overstep that boundary. So That would probably be my personal and my professional one that I want to share.
Okay.
So
that makes me think of my two, and I'll say, one is off of one of the things that you said. For me, it's a mental health ick when someone self-diagnoses and shares that self-diagnosis without getting tested. I feel like that's hella dangerous. That is extremely dangerous to do. And it also warps, because it's one thing to say, I think I have. That's not self-diagnosing. Saying I am bloom or I have boom.
ADHD.
And not getting, that's one.
Yeah.
Some people that are just claiming they have autism, yes, without actually getting tested. And it's so dangerous when people do that because you're setting a parameter to the world when you say, I have insert term here, and this is how we are. Right. It blurs understandings for family members that may have somebody that is actually going through that or does actually have that problem. And I think it's very dangerous and frankly annoying when someone just says I have, like within, like it's not an opinion. I have this and you don't get tested. I remember I thought that I might have been on this. I was like, okay, I think I'm on the spectrum, right? I went to go get tested and it turned out that no, my severe anxiety was so high that my mind was overworking itself. I had PTSD, depression, severe anxiety, all of these other things that I would not have gotten addressed. Because that's the other thing. When you think, okay, I have this and you're treating that, you're not treating a real problem.
Right.
It's like breaking your leg and then putting a Band-Aid on your wrist. Like that's not going to help, you know? So I think it's very important that if we think we have something, go get tested. Okay. And then if you want to get 2-3 opinions, whatever you have to do, get a licensed professional to test you. And as a Black person in America, getting dismissed by medical professionals is a commonality that is sad, right?
Yes.
So get your second or third opinion if needed, right? If you feel like, okay, this don't sit right with my spirit or my soul, get another opinion. Get another opinion, okay? But don't just walk in the I have, because that's dangerous. And that's frankly very annoying. That's one ick. The other ick is anything that is dismissive, whether it's dismissive of my feelings, dismissive of my emotions, or dismissive of like the work that I've done for years. That is a huge mental health ick for me. Yeah. Because for me, it's like, I am definitely not one to be like, hey, I'm going to force, unless you're like my blood, my blood and my husband are the only people I force certain things on, you know, health wise, my family, I'm gonna take care of you, or I'm gonna teach you what you need to do because I'm not gonna let you to die. Okay. So like in those situations, yes, I'll be forceful, but for the most part, I don't force who I am, what I like, what I do on other people. Right. I live me, you do you. My saying is, as long as what you're doing don't hurt you or anybody else, you do you, boo. Whatever it is, you do it. And I hate that if I do, as someone who has difficulty being vulnerable and difficulty being honest about the feelings that I have, and I finally build up that strength to share it, and it gets dismissed with that line, like you said, well, that's not that bad, or it's good. What do we say?
It could be worse.
It's gonna be a better day, right? It could be worse. Or yeah, you all right. I'm like that. I hate that. I hate that to my core. I hate that to my core.
Yeah.
Okay. Write that down because I ain't.
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk, the way that you dress. I hate when you say that.
It's hilarious how everything goes back to Kendrick and Drake. Okay, so one question. Let's jump to. We'll do a quick, not spitfire, but rapid fire. Answer these questions, and then we'll end out today. Another question: what songs put you in a better mental state? Okay, I can read. I promise you. Okay, in a better mental state. Unironically, Cupcake Songs makes me laugh so much. That's cute. So for each of you guys, what's a song that puts you in a better mental state? Anybody jump in?
Oh, you know me. I'm gospel. That good old gospel. Any gospel.
I was gonna say the same. Yeah, I typically listen to a lot of worship music, or on days when I'm not feeling that, it might be like old school '90s R&B. Those are the two my little go-to. But I don't have a specific song.
BigCheese.
Lord. Y'all went gospel.
Exactly, Lord,
90s, 80s.
No, be you. Say your truth.
I full-fledged agree now.
If you like Sexy Red and she make you feel good, feel better.
No,
say
I'm good.
your truth.
You ain't finna get no. I go back to like when I was younger. My auntie Marilyn, may she rest in peace. She was always listening to Betty Wright. No pain, no gain. And I was like, yo, this makes a lot of sense because hang if you can hang, no pain, no gain. But that also sounds like you'll be all right. So I had to change that up. So I'm not gonna lie, I do listen to CeeLo Green, Andre 3000, even the Fluke. Yeah, the new album's pretty crazy too. Gospel, I do listen to Kirk Franklin and the Family. Something about the name Jesus. So that was my mom's favorite song. May she rest in peace. So I just be thinking about the good memories I have with my people.
And the songs that remind you. That's good. That's cool.
But also Shaka Khan, Through the Fire. So yeah. Not the one that Kanye remixed, not his song. I'm talking about the original one.
Hilarious.
Right? Are you just saying that because I'm young?
Goodness. So
no.
For me, it's a couple different playlists. Sometimes it's classical music, like a classical music on playlist on Spotify. I'll use that to center me. Sometimes it's Jonas Brothers. Okay, I'll use that to center me. Sometimes it's Victoria Monet's latest album, Jaguar 2, I think is the name of it. That one will do it. The newest one that has been getting me centered is Tyla's new album or Tyla's album.
I love Tyla.
Her album, it's just, I love the flow of it and everything. And that song with Thames, like, girl, it's just that it does. But when Water comes on, I have to skip it because my 5-year-old, she'll be singing. And I'm like, yeah, you can't sing this. Yeah, she'll be like, make me. I'm like, nope, next song.
You are not sweating today, darling.
Love me to forget. Let's sing that. Yeah, okay, let's sing. Let's sing that. But those are my go-tos right now. What'd you say, BigCheese?
You think they got a Christian version of that? Bread and water. No,
first of all, they have a Christian version of anything. You can turn.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah,
I'm sure there is a church. It's water, and in church, water, holy water, living water.
Non-denominational church that has that remix playing on tomorrow morning.
We just haven't seen it yet. We'll see it, but it hasn't happened yet. John Franklin asks, "What helped throughout your journey of improving your mental health?" Anybody jump in?
My wife definitely helped me out throughout my journey. Like, she would kick me out to bed if I even wake up late. So like, nah, you got to get up, get to work, get to going. She stays on. She's like you say, you force on your family. Like she forces me, and that's what I need, because the thing that I have been working on, and it's my weakness, is defeating procrastination. Because we just sit here and be like, I get to it later. Then that later becomes tomorrow. Then that tomorrow becomes next week. And then it's like, it's already too late. So my wife be like, get up, get out of bed, get out of bed, go on, get. So I definitely say my wife, but most of all, my community too. I feel like without my wife and my community, people that support me since day 1 to day 3,000, they really, really helped me improve as far as my mental health, because I believe in my dream. I believe in what I do. I believe in my passion for it. And they do too, and that's what keeps me going every day.
Yeah, I would say something similar. My support system. I think the last few years, my family and friends have just really stepped their game up in regards to me. Like, they don't play about, like, they didn't play about me, but now it's like, no, we don't play about her. And I just seen them show up and pull up on me when I was going through some things personally. I would get random cash apps and, lunch sent to my house, and, check-ins and phone calls and just random things, just unexpected, where God will put me on someone else's heart and they will do what they need to do. And so I rock with my support system real heavy because they were there in like the darkest times.
I need to find where they have food sent to me.
Cash it.
I know. I'd like to have some food sent to me.
I love it. They were like, "What do you want for lunch today?" I'm like, "Really? I can choose anything? This is so good." And they would just have food sent to my house, groceries sent to my house, just random things out of nowhere.
Oh.
And I receive it. I receive all my blessings. Okay.
Right. Your family looking for an addition,
yeah,
pineapples. We're not Jamaican, but you can pull up on it.
Yeah. I like the whole diaspora. I like the diaspora. Supreme, what about you?
Public subs. Cool.
Honestly, getting closer to God. And I know it's probably like, oh, she's always talking about God. Like, I'm actually getting better at being less scared to be out loud about that stuff. I'm working on that because I know sometimes I'll just not say that, but that's literally true. Like, I was down bad when I first moved to Atlanta in 2021. I was not in a good place. I was not a good person. Because I wasn't in a good place. I wasn't treating people the way I should have been. I was involved in things I should have been. And getting closer to God literally changed my entire life. I just got better. I mean, it wasn't perfect. It's not to say, oh, if you give your life, you're going to just suddenly stop having issues. But it was just healthier. It was a healthier lifestyle. And honestly, I just be thanking people who pushed me there, because sometimes you get pushed so far that be the only option. It'd be your only option, bro. It's I don't know what else to do. And you just start talking to them and you just build that relationship and, just doing that. And it has helped. And I feel like I've helped other people because some people start to feel more comfortable doing that. Some people, I think our age, I'm 26. But people,
I told you not to say your age.
But my generation, the people who graduated in the pandemic, I feel like there was a lot of things that were robbed from us, and we get scared to speak on our truth, right? Because you feel like you gotta be you gotta do what they want you to do. It's no, this is who I am. And I feel like because I became more out loud about my beliefs and who I serve, right? You know what I'm saying? It opened the door to be oh, I also do that. And it's okay to be out loud about it. You don't got to force it down nobody's throat. But if that's who you are, that's who you are. And that has literally helped me. There's some days when it's real bad. I'm listen, it's going to look, he going to work it out. And he always do. So, period.
I think as long as you lean with love, then you don't have to be as afraid. I can tell, for me, because I did grow up in church, but one of the things that I've seen is there is a certain type of toxic Christianity.
Absolutely.
And I know we don't like the word toxic, but there are some people that do hit you with the Bible and don't try to learn who you are or lean with love. And I can understand where you're you want to be more brave in it. And I feel like as long as you're leaning in love and for you, you just mentioning God in this conversation, I've never felt uncomfortable talking to you, in all the times that we've played and everything. I don't feel like you haven't made it a situation where people are the toxic positivity where they use the toxic Christianity, we slap you with it.
That
it's wrong.
Your relationship is your relationship. It ain't. I'm talking about me. I can't. I'm talking about me.
God don't like that.
And I think the fact that you are honest to who you are and leaning with love, I think you don't really have that much to be afraid of when talking about. I don't feel awkward or uncomfortable that you mentioned that you're a Christian.
I'm glad. People, that word is, again, like I said, what you just said, because of those people, it has a negative connotation on it. And it's hard to come out now to be yeah, I'm Christian. I used to be embarrassed to say it because some people ruined it. Some people are ruining it now, So I would just say I'm spiritual or something. I'm no, I am what I am, but I got to make it clear that there are some bad apples, I'm not the bad apple, and I'll try to do my best to, not make anyone feel any type of way. But I also am not going to allow anybody to tell me I can't say certain things, So it's just one of those things. A healthy relationship, and it's respect and it's boundaries.
That girl,
people, it's just respect. Like I would never. I'm not gonna ever go to somebody if you believe something totally opposite of me. I'm never going to disrespect what you believe. Like I think that's outrageous, Because who am I, right? Who am I to say that you are wrong, So it's just one of those things, and it's all circle back to like mental health. Religion is still, you have to be educated. You cannot be out here preaching something that you are not educated on. You can't be out here preaching about mental health that you are not educated on, because like you just make it up.
It can be dangerous.
So those people you talk about, those toxic Christianities, I call them choosers. So they pick and choose which scriptures they follow, and it's like if you actually were who you were, then you will love everybody. You ain't slapping none of that in their face, you know what I'm saying? But again, those people are choosers, the people that pick certain type of mental health things that they like, and it's like you're just doing the things that make you feel good. Like, no, you got to do all of it. You got to strip all of that down. So I'm sure Keandra be like looking at people online who are mental health therapists on TikTok, be like, now you know damn well.
Well, she tries to talk to them, and they be like, "You are attacking me. You are attacking me."
You just out here selling dreams and nightmares.
Right, and nightmares. Hello, nightmares. For sure.
Amen.
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 You know
what? Hilarious. For me, someone who's helped me, my husband, he has definitely been not only my rock, but like my tent pole. Like he's like what I use to ground myself. Like now that I realize what my triggers are when I'm not okay, because that's the side effect of being high functioning, is that sometimes I don't realize when I'm not okay. And then when I he'll know a lot of times I'm not okay before I realize that I'm not okay. And actually having that conversation, he'll be like, "Babe, I can feel it. Let's talk. Let's talk about what's going on. And he advocates for me. And like recently I was in a situation where I was like, "Okay, babe, I need you to come and get me." And he was like, come and got me, because the priority is my mental health. So like everybody, try to build up your support system and have your people that will either push you to do what you need to do or be there for you when you're in need. Before we close out, because I know we got 2 minutes, I want you guys to tell the people where they can find you. If you have anything that you need to shout out, I do want to say again, thank you, Keandra, Supreme, and BigCheese for joining for this conversation. I love these like heart-to-heart kickbacks, just chilling and being honest and talking about what we're going through and our thoughts and stuff like that, and learning more about who we are or who each other is. But before we close out, go ahead and tell the people where they can find you. Keandra, we'll start with you.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for keeping your word and allowing me to be on your platform. I'm so here for that. But you guys can stay connected with me by visiting my website, which is my name, KeandraJackson.com, or follow me on all social media platforms at Keandra Jackson. I'm trying to, build up my YouTube channel. So go ahead and hop on over there and give your girl a follow. I have mental health, relationship content, and celebrity gossip from a licensed therapist perspective.
I like
and with
that.
what we saw recently, there's definitely some takes that are needed. All right, Supreme, where can the people find you and what do you have going on?
SupremeSensai everywhere. Yes, it's spelled incorrectly. That's with the A, not an E. And yeah, I've been doing a lot of dancing on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter. So that's my gift and my true art that I am finally diving into. So I'm excited about that. And if you like Fortnite, I try to cross those paths over to doing the emotes that they have, or trying to get them to make an emote that from a trending dance or something. So yeah.
Whoop whoop. And BigCheese, what about you?
Oh, dancing, my bad.
He's practicing his dance moves.
Yeah, I got to battle her one day.
I'm ready.
Oh, what? Say less. I'll probably break a hip, but I'll be good. But no, you can follow me on all of my socials, which is BigCheese. Like no 3s, no E's, no Z's, no $signs. The original spelling, BigCheese. All socials. And yeah, leave a follow. Man, I'm trying to grow my business in my brain. I'm trying to look good out here. Well, I need a haircut first, but I'm still trying to look good out here.
Don't we all?
And we girl, you covering. I recently got my hair cut. Okay.
You 2 hours too late. What is it?
I know, yeah.
Still look good though. Still look good.
Right. Yeah, it's cute.
Man. I need that scent fade. You feel me? What I'm saying? I'm whooping now.
On the side, yeah.
Nah, the whole thing. I need the mirror. Like I need the clippers.
Oh, okay.
I've been waiting until I get married. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm slicing this thing off.
That's what I did. I got the clippers and I went too, and then I knocked to my husband. I was like, babe, can you even this out, please?
Even this out.
He's like, did you want it this low? I was like, yeah, but I want it to be even. Even it out. Okay.
We didn't even talk about that, but hair, mental health. I'm telling you, you cut that off. Woo!
It's a change.
Fresh start.
Girl, like when I was staring at myself in the mirror today, I was like, girl, I love you. You look good. Self-esteem was not a thing for me, but I passed the mirror and I was just like, girl, you is cute. You is cute. Okay. So yeah, it be things like that helps with mental health. That's truth.
I love to see it.
I love it.
But thank you guys again. Make sure you guys follow them, support them, say hi, say, hey, I was at the stream, blah, blah, blah. I love when communities blend together. High tide raises all ships, so raise them ships. We all got light bills. Okay. So, getting them comments. Okay.
Please.
Yes. And even though this is not a part of a brand deal, but one of the things that MTV is doing that I think is really cool is that acknowledge, support, and keep in touch, especially if you're somebody that has a friend that is going through something and is struggling and you don't know what to do. Ask or acknowledge, support, and keep in touch. So thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. All right, and then